Guys, this week's YouTube video is about social media and acting. First of all, let's take a solid moment to panic about it. Panic? Good. Now that we've handled that, let's give it a talk. One of the biggest questions I get from you guys is, do I need to build a social media following? What should I post on my social media? How do I handle social media as an actor? Oh my God. And I do think it's one of the more confusing things out there for actors. So much mixed information being given out. On the one hand, you hear that influencers are being offered these roles. Actors with large social media followings are beating out actors without. But the truth is, that's not really the case. It hasn't really been proven yet that large social media followings will draw in audiences for television and film. Think about it this way. If two actors are auditioning for a role and they are both equally talented, and one has 10 million followers and one has 1,000, sure, it benefits the studio probably to cast the one with 10 million followers. Two actors are auditioning for a role and one has 10,000 followers and one has 5,000 followers, the best actor is going to get the job always, always. If the studio says to casting, for this particular role, we would like to stunt cast, meaning we would like to bring in someone that's going to bring viewership to the show, a celebrity, a singer, an influencer. We want to bring someone of name value. Then they might say, we want someone with a large social media following for this role. The question of whether you need to build your social media following is totally up to you. Would it ultimately be beneficial to you? Sure, why not? You think you can build a massive following and ultimately be the person who has that 10 million followers? Maybe it will benefit you, sure, but you don't have to. If you're an actor, your job is to be an actor, period, end of discussion. So you need to focus on being the best actor you can be, so when you go in the room, you win the job because of your acting. Be so undeniably good, they have to give you the job because of that. You are not losing jobs to influencers. They are going in the room and auditioning for jobs just like you. They have to win these jobs. You know how I know this? I coach them for their auditions. My specialties as a coach is I take non-traditional actors and I turn them into actors. It's one of my passions. I have a lot of influencers and singers and dancers and musicians and athletes and all sorts of non-traditional actors who are making their way into acting. I specialize in these people. So I work with a lot of influencers and I'm working with them on their auditions. So I see this in real time. Going in the room just like you. Stressing about that. That's just a rumor. Part 2 of the social media discussion is what to post on your social media if you have social media. Here's where I want you guys to be smart and think about it. You don't want to post things that will come back and bite you in the ass later. You have to think about the career you want, the networks you want to be on. Happened a million times with non-actors, with politicians, with singers. They book a job, they become a politician, and we look back at their tweets from 10 years ago and something really controversial comes up and they lose their job. Don't let that happen to you. You hear me say this all the time, but just don't be a shitty person. Don't be posting racist or homophobic things that can come up and bite you in the ass when you book the job. See yourself on the Disney Channel. Don't post racy photos. We live in a world with social media now, so they will go back and dig through your socials if they cast you. Yes, you have to be conscious of that. You have to know that that kind of stuff will come back and bite you in the ass. My advice is to keep your social pretty innocuous if you're gonna have one. Part 3 of this is the stuff that you share about your acting career. This I do have a very strong opinion of. Do not ever share anything about your auditions, the projects you book, or anything like that until you are given explicit permission from production. I've seen too many people lose jobs because of this. Auditions, the rule is never, ever, ever post about your auditions. Think about it objectively. Why are you posting about the audition anyway? If you're posting, I got this awesome audition, it's to brag to your actor friends and make them feel bad, truly. No casting office wants you to post about your auditions. That is a rule. You know how I say there are no rules? This is a rule. Do not share about your auditions. In terms of the jobs you book, You have to wait until you get explicit permission from production to post about the jobs, and then they will let you know what and when to post, I promise. It's so much work to book an acting job, don't lose it over something like this. The final piece of the puzzle is contacting people over social media. Actors ask me all the time, should I be tweeting at my favorite casting directors, producers, everyone like that? Should I contact people over social media? I mean, sure. In my opinion, I don't think it's gonna get you anything. I don't think you're gonna reach out to a casting director and they're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so glad you reached out. I'm gonna cast you now. It's just not how it works. Casting needs to know your work, and there's a system in place. Agents and managers contact casting and send materials over. So if you're just randomly contacting casting and saying hi, they don't know where to put you. They don't know what you're right for. They have projects that they're casting right now that they're busy with. If you're just randomly reaching out, they don't know what to do with that really. So for me, and I'm speaking from my own experience, when actors would reach out over social media, I would sort of just set it aside. It didn't work well for me. So to answer that question, I'm always like, I guess I don't think it's going to do anything for you. By all means, follow everybody on social media, but I don't necessarily think DMing casting producers, all those people, is going to do anything for you. I think it's a bit more of a nuisance. I hope this was helpful. I know it's a really hard topic to navigate. I hope you're liking these videos. I hope you will like and follow and subscribe and whatever else you're supposed to do on YouTube. And let me know what the next one should be about. These are fun to make. Okie doke.